Perfect, guys. Well, this is a key topic. We're gonna enter to one of the most interesting topics of this course, which is called Advanced Market Structure 1. Okay, we're gonna see how it works, and we're gonna see what important things to bear in mind. So this is it. Market structure always requires extensive study. And in a bullish impulse, there are two entry points. Okay, one of these is the zone 1. We call it original extreme movement creator. Okay, this is the point that initially generates the bullish move, often found at the extreme of the impulse and considered a strong area of demand. And then we have a zone 2, which is the decisional or the flip zone. This is a key level where the price made a significant decision, often aligned with a flip zone where previous supply turns into demand. Okay, this may sound confusing, but let's see exactly what I'm referring to with this explanation. So if you remember the previous explanations when we talk about the order blocks, price and discount areas or zones, and imbalances and order blocks as well, you always saw that there was like a confluence or alignment between the premium and discount area and the order blocks we found there, because there were some that work and some that don't. Well, we have here in this example, which is a bullish example, so this would be the demand, the discount area. Now we have here two key levels, which are called the order block, which is called an original extreme of move creator, which is the first order block, the one we selected always, because from this point is where the price starts its new impulse, and that's why this is called the original, the extreme of the move creator. So in this zone, there is a huge amount of money accumulated that must be needs to be mitigated further in the price. So since the price, just imagine the next funds, hedge funds, banks, all the stuff, they put here tons of money to make this huge impulse, correct? So here is the beginning, and where is the most money is like trapped, correct? So this is the first most important, one of the points who has the highest level of reactions in the market. This is called the extreme, the original of the move creator. Most of the times it is an order block, okay, as we have seen in the previous examples with the theory we have covered. And now we have another second point, which is called a decisional, which is a flip or an order block as well, okay? And this is in here. We're gonna analyze this area because this is created before a boss or after a boss. We're gonna see in a minute how and how it works, okay? But these are the two key points. And if you pay attention to this, most of the times it is under the 50% area, which is the discount zone, and it makes it even more probable to have good reaction, okay? The extreme of the move creator is the origin of the move, of the momentum or the impulse. So defining as a key zone, it is the area that generates the entire price movement and establishes the fractal structure, okay? This is like a more defined of the market, okay? And this is a more theoretical explanation. So when we have orange here, then we have the energy range, and sometimes you have seen that the price goes down, and we think the price keep pushing down in the downtrend. It simply continues. Then have a really strong reaction in a certain point, and after I don't know news maybe or a certain in a certain session, London session or New York session, the price just skyrocket like this example. It has many explanations for this, but the main one is, and based on this theory, is the next one. First, this is a strong low. Remember that if we are in a bullish trend line, this strong low tends to be respected most of the times, correct? Now, this is the first thing. It's a strong low, so low probability to be broken. But after this, we have the second confluence, which is an order block. And it's not an ordinary order block. It's the extreme, the original, the move creator. And also, we have a third confirmation, which is in a discount area. So under these three parameters, we would expect that the price will have a very huge reaction, as in the example we have seen. Also, if you remember in our previous video, we saw in the euro dollar a very similar example like this drawing, okay? And we're gonna see much more examples. All right, So this is the easiest to identify, okay, the extreme, the order block. Once you get used to see it, actually in the very beginning, actually when we make in the strong low or in the strong high, there you should find an order block, which will be the original or the extreme of the creator of the movement. Now we're gonna find that the decisional or the flip order blocks or even imbalances, because remember that it's not just the order blocks, also the imbalances can be decisionals. They are a little bit harder to find, okay, or to understand in the market. All right, now here we have a decisional zone. So the decisional zone, this is the cause of the nearest structure break boss. Okay, it is located within the quadrant of the previous break of the structure boss and serves as a key decision point where the price made a shift. Okay, in other words, so look at the next. Let's go slowly in the definition. This is the cause of the nearest structural break boss. Okay, this is the first thing. Okay, it is located within the quadrant of the previous break of the structure, which is the one I'm pointing here. This is the previous break of structure and is between this quadrant right here, okay, and it serves as a key decisional point where the price made a shift. Sometimes the price do not get to the extreme, it just go to the like in the half of the impulse or the half of the range, and it keep continue with the trend. In this case is a bullish trend, correct? So it means that the price entered in a decisional zone, and from that point onwards it keep continue with the main trend line, correct? All right, and also if you can see in this example, we use the Fibonacci tool again to find the premium and discount zone, and most of the times this decisional order block or imbalance is under, which also has that confluence. Okay, now this order block is a little bit more difficult, or imbalance is a little bit more difficult to understand, a little more difficult to find, but what I want you to do today is just pay attention in which cases it will be a valid decisional order block or imbalance, or when it won't be a valid decisional or imbalance. That's the next thing we're gonna see. Okay, I think original or extreme of both creators, they are very clear, but these ones are the ones that we, particularly me myself, when I was learning this strategy, the one I had a hard time understanding it. Okay, all right, here we have a small example of extreme and decisional. Now in this time is a bearish example. I'm gonna show you here the next. Just we're gonna try to analyze how the market structure works. Okay, so it's called market structure again because once we identify the range, then we have to understand what could be the possible reaction or movement of the price, and this is why it's called advanced market structure. Now the price may go up. I don't like this color. Let me change it. The price may go up a little bit more. Right now, it is in a premium zone, which means now we have to sell, or in a supply zone. Right now, we have the next. We have decisional, which is here, and extreme, which is here. Now, and also we have, let's imagine we have a small imbalance here, like in this, from this point to this point, there is an imbalance, correct? In the middle, right in the middle, there is an imbalance. Okay, what may happen here? Now we have to spot the possible reactions of the market. In this moment, we may expect the price go to this decisional, or even can go to this extreme. Okay, we need to be patient enough to wait because the market can go down. It's accumulate. When the price go down, still do not reach the decisional or the extreme, it means that the price is accumulating orders. What is the meaning of that? The price is on purpose making small movements for impatient traders or retail traders fall into traps. Which are the traps? I don't know if you have heard the concept of liquidity traps, which means they have lots of money accumulating. People is like very impatient, and there's like they start like selling at this point. Where it was like that type of traders, they will start selling here, selling, right? And they don't do a significant movement because they know they are just trapping or accumulating orders of impatient traders. So after they had enough money, they just do the next buy accounts, buy trading accounts, real accounts, challenges, everything. And then what happened? It gets to a decisional zone, and from this point, it keeps pushing down, right? So this is an example. It keeps pushing a little bit more up, and then here have the reaction. So this is the thing. Okay, guys, perfect. Just wanted to draw this example. But now let's try to understand the next concept. We already understand that there is like two key points in the advanced market structure, which is called extreme and decisional. Extreme, very clear. Let's go to the decisional. When should you consider a decisional zone? Okay, a decisional zone should be taken as a point of interest, okay, only if it shows a clear evident attempt to push the price downward, in this case in a bullish scenario, okay, or upward in a bearish scenario. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. We need to see this. We need to see a clear and evident attempt of price push down in a bullish scenario. This is a bullish scenario. I'm just gonna stick with this. Okay, if there is a clear rejection or shift in the price from the level, it confirms that is as significant as a valid decisional zone. Okay, what happened here? Look, oh my gosh, no, wait, I just wanted to go back in the video. Perfect. In the video, let's pay attention. At this point of that we have the video here, there is no boss. There is no boss yet. The price has not making a boss. We're waiting. We are in a bullish trend, as we can see here. The price may have reacted here for any reason. Maybe it entered in a decisional, in an imbalance or an order block. We're just waiting a little bit. What happened after that? We have to see the next. We're waiting for the price to make a boss. Why? Because we would determine if it is the beginning of a new strong low range, correct? We just want to determine if this low here will become a strong low, and we'll continue with thinking in buying a bullish trend, right? So what happened? That's why the boss, identifying the boss, is super important for this strategy, because in the boss or no boss area, right, or in the swing high, which is here is the swing high and here is the swing low, we will see, or we need to see, a very clear attempt of the price going downwards in this example, which is what I'm gonna mark. So I write in this color. So the price here has a reaction, very clear reaction. So it goes downwards, okay? And now we can determine two things. First of all, that this area, now we already determined that this is the beginning of the impulse, which means that is the strong low, correct? There is a break of structure. And also, if here in the beginning of this order block is the extreme, it means that we have to analyze if here is the decisional. In this example, it's very clear the attempt of going down. So just enter this zone, go down, have a significant attempt of going down or reaction, and then it can push it up. Okay, so this will be the decisional zone. Okay, and this is how we determine, all right, I can consider this order block. Okay, I can consider this imbalance as a decisional zone. Okay, and then we can move on, right? So this is super important. This is how we validate a correct decisional zone. Why? Because sometimes we may have things, or example as the next, okay? And sometimes if there is a not clear example of the price attempting to move opposite of the direction, then the point should not be considered as a valid decisional, okay? Sometimes the price just like do not have reaction, have one or two candles, really, like, how do you call it? Really small candles that is not significant, the movement. So this won't be like perceived, it cannot be perceived as a decisional. It's not enough. It's not enough for us to say, okay, here they inject more money to keep pushing up the price. No, it just is like, they just like made some candles, but in fact, they did not move the price properly. So in that case, the decisional will be our previous order block. Okay, so this one won't be the decisional, will be our previous one. Okay, because we can see a clear order block, a clear movement. Okay, we can see a clear order block or a clear accumulation of orders. So that would lead us to understand that could be a decisional area, even if it is an imbalance, and yes, in this example, or an order block. Okay. The extreme of the original is very clear, but this is how we classify or determine when an order block or an imbalance can be a decisional zone. Perfect. Probably these two things I just mentioned about the decisional can be, if not clear at all, a little bit, maybe it's a little bit blurred. You say, okay, I need to see more examples of this so to have it clear. Perfect. That's what we're gonna do now. We're gonna go to the market and we're gonna try to determine now where is the original and where are the decisionals. Again, the homework is analyze, because there is a lot of examples. In further videos of this method, we will see something that is called liquidity, and liquidity is key to discard or really understand what is a correct decisional. But until this moment, we just have to do is just find the correct decisional, because this this is what makes this strategy advanced. Find the proper decisional. Okay, nice. Questions and more. There's a lot of questions in the Q section. You can go and visit it. Also, you can just write to me and I will be so pleased to help you answering those questions. Homework. Identify 10 ranges, bullish or bearish. Then find the premium discount zones, as always. Then identify the extreme and the decisional. Okay, this is what we're gonna do right now. So let's go and let's learn.
Guys, for a while, stop. Question: why are you not subscribed to this channel? I am providing you the best smart money concept strategy ever explained on YouTube, and it's free. So subscribe to the channel, which is also free. And with that being said, let's continue with explanation that you come here to see. Let's go.
Perfect. Now we're gonna do the exercise of analyzing properly the decisionals and the extreme. Okay, move creators. This is the same example we used in the previous video to identify premium and discount areas. And now here it is. What are you gonna find here? We already in the previous homework we found the order blocks and imbalances. Now we're just gonna name those order blocks we found out in the market. So in this previous example, remember this is the move creator. We already have the beginning of a range. At this point, I'm not gonna keep explaining what is that range and all that stuff. We already need to know that by heart. Okay, so this will be the order block, which will be now named as extreme, right? Or move creator. Perfect. Now that's very clear, very obvious. Challenge. The challenge is in the decisional. Now this is why at the very beginning of this strategy was important to understand where is a swing high or a swing low, because in the swing high we can see the reaction. So look at the next. We have here the swing low is created, the swing high is created, the liquidity is taken, we have a strong low, but after the boss. So what's the price make this boss? Break of structure. Question: does it have a clear and evident reactions downwards or opposite the bullish trend? I think it's very obvious. Of course it does, right? In this example, look, we can see here two things. We see here this, which is the reaction, and then it led this. So this would be the decisional. Okay, this would be the decisional. Okay, it could be this one or it could be this previous candle, which I like the previous one. Why? Because it's the lowest candle that has the lowest reaction or the hardest reaction. So this will be the decisional. Okay, perfect. This will be the decisional. As simple as that. Now, is this decisional under the 50% of the price or sorry of the range? Yeah, yes it does. Or yes it is, excuse me. Yes it is. Look, under the 50%. So if we just put this up, we will see the next. You'll see, oh Manuel, look, but the price went to the decisional, but it just simply crossed it out. Just cross it and do not respect it. No problem, right? Why? Remember that we have three possibilities, three possible reactive or price reaction zones, which are decisional, the imbalance, which is right here, or the extreme of creator of the movement, right? In this example, it reacted not in the decisional, but in the imbalance, which I consider was the one who had the best reaction. But some of us would consider that also the move, the creator, the extreme. Personally, I don't like it too much because it's just brief, it's just brief touch, very gentle touch. I rather prefer to say that it's in the imbalance, and that's it. From this point, it keep continue up. Okay, so you say, all right, Manuel, this example you have already prepared for us, so I don't trust you. I don't trust you have done this. I want to see another example. Let's go. Let's see another example. Let's see. This is the range. This is the most recent range. Let's see the previous range, which is this one. Okay, and let's do it from the beginning, from the very beginning. Okay, again, we're gonna do the next. It's very evident. This will be the strong low. Okay, strong low. But now we have here the swing low. This will be the swing low. Here we have it, swing low. Perfect. And then from the swing low, we have the swing high, which is right here. This will be the swing high. Perfect. This will be the swing high. And the swing high becomes a boss break of structure, right? Because well, in this point, look, with this first candle, this is not a boss. The second one, maybe I don't like it. The third one is not so clear. The fourth one neither. But then with the, I don't know what is the third one, like with the seventh candle would be considered a boss. So this is the one who make the boss. This one, this black one I'm highlighting. All right, that's why I remember that. And I said to you in the very beginning of the course, Remember, it must be with candlestick body, the boss. Why? Because it will be key for us to determine when the price finishes or not. Now we're gonna here find the swing high, right? The swing high is created. Now from the swing high, the swing low is created and the liquidity is taken. If I don't like it, I don't. I like this much more. You will say, Manuel, why do we don't take this as a swing high, a swing low? It could be, but I don't like it because it's not that clear. On trading, you need to see the things very clear, right? It needs to be evident. If you start like just changing on your own perspective, the price, believe me, you won't have clear rules, and those clear rules will affect your analysis. All right, perfect. I'm gonna delete this here. Now, so far here, we'll find that we have a range. This is the range, correct? Now we're gonna mark here our price and discount zones. Perfect. Everything is clear so far. And now look at the next. This is the next thing we're gonna see. We're gonna try to identify the movement creator or the original. Where is the original or the movement creator? Here it is. It's the last candlestick. Is the order block, extremely evident. We just mark perfect. All right, this will be the extreme. Nice. Now, where is the decision model? You said the decision will be after the boss. Yes, I did. So that's what I said. So look here. After the boss, which was here, right? We will need to see a clear and evident attempt of down, a very clear attempt of going downwards the price in this case, because we're in a bullish trend line, or a very clear and evident attempt of opposition from the price, which is here. It goes up, and then what happens after the price break the structure with this candlestick? These are the candles who made the opposition, let's say, or went against the price. Or here we see the very clear attempt of going against the price. So these will be our decisional. Here, this one. This is the last candle. Even I would consider this one with the candle wick as the decisional. Okay, and this will be the decisional. Now I'm gonna put it here. Perfect. This will be the decisional. Now you would say like, hey, come on, Manuel, you just lied to us. The price did not get to the decisional zone, right? Decisional, guys, it does. It did, right? But wait, where? We have to analyze where, right? You see. I said to you, we could have this candle, which is the black one, and that black one is the one who is like has the lowest reaction or the one who has the highest reaction against the main trend line. So the black one would be the candle that we consider as our decisional. So this one, like this, I just maximize it a little bit more, right? Why? These all complete will be the decisional zone. And it reacted in two zones. Here, first was what it was mitigated in this part, first reaction, and then it entered again here. So it did have the reaction in decisional, okay? And they would say, wait a minute, but it must be the candle who has like the bearish candle, right? Because it's an order block. Not necessarily, guys. Remember that this is not about the colors. It's about the one who was the lowest. So in this case, the one who was the lowest was this black one I marked here. Yes, this one. That's why I consider the complete candle. But you say, oh Manuel, but you just took the red one. Well, yes, sometimes we can make that, right? And sometimes the price will make us wait because the price won't do what we are expected to be done. The price just do what it needs to do. As simple as that, right? There are some traders that may be waiting here in the extreme and being hey, but the market is incorrect. Come on, I was here in the extreme waiting for a good position, and now the price just has left me behind. The market is not made to please you, my friends. Okay, neither mine, neither us, right? So the thing is, we just have to adapt ourselves as a trader. It's called a decisional because we have to make a decision. So if we see that the price already got a reaction here, probably it will go down as it did here, and that's it. Also, there is another further explanation I won't be able to explain now because it's for a more advanced level, but so far this is what we need. Okay, guys, so now we have two examples of decisionals and extreme order blocks, correct? I want you to do the same exercise. These were examples with a bullish trend line, both of the examples, but now I want you to do also with bearish trend lines, okay, or bearish ranges. And the thing is the next, be meticulous, okay, with the decisional. Decisionals needs hours. I call it like but hours. You have to be sat in your desk, in front of your computer for hours and then start like analyzing and realizing, oh, this is the candle that may work better than the previous one, right? It's not just always the same. And sometimes it does. It is like very perfect, but not always, right? And you need to be flexible enough to comprehend that the market may vary, but be strict enough not to change your complete strategy. So if you see this with the candles, say perfect. Okay, I have noticed a certain pattern. At least, for example, it changes according to the currency pairs. For example, in the USD, we could see this type of candles, right? But probably in the gold, silver, Bitcoin, the decision was maybe a different type of candles, or it will react just in imbalances. I don't know. You just have to test the pair you feel more comfortable with. But this is what you have to do on your own. I have explained this to you, have all the knowledge. Now it's time for you to practice. All right. So this is all for today's session. I hope this is being super clear for you. See you in the next recording then.
Hey guys, do you have any questions and you want me to answer them in a live session? It's possible. So you just have to click on my social media and there join to my Telegram community. There I'm gonna keep posting some of the possible days in which I'm gonna make a live session and I can answer some of your questions, alright? So don't doubt to do it and join to the community. See you in the next video.